phone. Yeah, just my phone a little. Okay, so I got the new microphone this time. Hopefully that it works much better, because I know for several videos the microphone didn't work very well and it's cut out sometimes, so it's kind of annoying. But hopefully I got to nail down technology this time, because it's quite an interesting topic to talk about, and it's nothing more important than having a good audio so everyone can hear me. So welcome to my life, and this one is hello Krishna. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, it's a brand new microphone, so it should work, and this one is quite expensive too. So yeah, welcome to my number 6 live. So according to the 6th chapter of my book, so every week I discuss a theme in my book, and I expand on this theme to my life, and hopefully that's more relatable to the audience and to my viewers as well, so that you can understand my book at a deeper level. So the theme for this week is all about relationship. It's quite a big topic, because I think that living a life, of course everyone is curious, right? How is it possible to have a relationship when you're constantly being on the move all the time? Well, in my book I talk about the healing of relationship, my healing journey in relationship, and how that gave me the confidence to fully embrace the nomadic lifestyle. No longer afraid, like, if I live this way I won't be able to meet people and I can't have a relationship or all that. So I was able to let go of that fear, and in this life I will explain a little deeper about this insight, and so that you can understand the story in the book, and also to apply these insights as well. So if you're thinking about living a nomadic life, hopefully you're not being held back because of this mindset, because of certain beliefs. Just like everything in life, like if you have a dream to do something or to be someone, but there's certain fear that holds you back, and so hopefully this life will you to gain more insight about your life, so you can achieve the life that you or the dream that you want to pursue. So in a recent podcast interview, the guy actually asked me, the host of the podcast actually asked me, like, how do you really maintain your relationship with people, or how can you really have relationship with people? And it's a very honest question. I used to ask this question to my friend who was a nomad. I don't know if you remember about him, my friend James, who was a nomad, and I was so curious when I first met him. I was like, you've been doing this for 6 or 7 years, like, how do you have relationships? And I remember that he just smiled, and he just said, very a reserved person. He didn't say anything. So ever since, that question just like boggled me, and I was like, I don't know, like, how people go around and do this, right? Until I get to experience my van life. But when I started my van life, I was pretty stable. in Vancouver, it wasn't like nomadic, more like a localized van life. So I have my group of friends there. I have my co-workers there. So to have relationship with people and hang out with friends like every week, that was just very normal to me. There wasn't anything like you can have relationship because I was localized. Right, I go hang out with my friends every week. So I didn't have that much concern about, unless if you have like a romantic relationship with someone and you constantly around different places, then yeah, you have to think about that. But what got me to let go of the fear that, oh, I have to stay in one place in order to have a relationship is, I think that no matter what kind of relationship you are in, if you heal yourself first, it doesn't matter where you stay or you go, it doesn't matter where you live, you're not gonna have that fulfilling, harmonious relationship regardless. So being nomadic actually doesn't have anything to do with having a fulfilling relationship. In some way, I think it's actually help to aid you in building relationship with other people. It sounds contrary, but it's true, and I have experienced that, and I have sensed that. First of all, because if you're already in a relationship with, like if you have a spouse or you live with your family and you very them to embark on this journey, but you want to be a nomad, you want to try, but you don't want to be away from your partner or your spouse or your family. So how is it possible, right? Now you're like in being stuck between two worlds. Like I want here, but I have to stay here because of these people. So if your dream is something that requires you to be apart from your family, if that is really, really what you want to do and that's aligned with your higher purpose and value, your highest value, then ask whether your relationship is something that supports you, the people that support you to pursue your dream, or the people that hold you back from being the best version of yourself and to have your highest success. So if they are the one that hold you back, then ask if they are the right one to be in your life. Because for people who truly be in your life and to have an authentic relationship with you, those are the ones that support you on your journey. But if they hold you back, then are they really meant to be in? Because after all, even if you stay, then are you really authentic with yourself? It's something that I discuss in, I think, the second life, where I talk about being authentic in relationship at your work life, but that can also apply in your relationship with other people as well. So even if you stay, even if you keep your life the way that it is and you don't to take a leap of faith to embark on a new journey, then yeah, are you authentic with your current relationship? Are you authentic with yourself first? So because you would have to deny a part of yourself in order to be in the relationship. Because of that, you inhibit yourself to grow. And relationship is all about if we inhibit each other to grow, then eventually there's gonna be a friction in the relationship because we can't be ourselves anymore. Um, because relationship is about growth. You may have met each other at the point that you both was complementary to each other. You both are at the point that at the same level, but as time goes, you both gonna grow as different not different bodies, but you're gonna grow in different directions. Either you grow in different directions or you go in the same direction. If you grow in different directions, then perhaps you would have to do something to compromise, or you have to let each other go, right? So for the people who, and I have met people like this, and they ask me all the time. Several of my friends actually, they ask me this all the time, and one that said, I'm so close to my mom, I'm so close to my family, I see them every day, and if I pursue this lifestyle, I can't see them, and that's gonna make them upset. And my mom is my best friend, and I'm so afraid to be alone, like traveling alone. But have always been interested in this, right? So there's also, you don't have to go all the way to like live like I do, but you can also meet it halfway. If your family, your partner not travel with you, then you just need to travel seasonally. So part of the year you can see them, and part of the year you for yourself. And in my experience, having time for yourself, having your own distance from other people, really strengthen the relationship even more. Because if it doesn't strengthen your relationship, it's gonna weaken your relationship. Weakens your relationship because that relationship doesn't already have enough strong foundation to help both of you or all of you grow as a person. And if it doesn't have a strong foundation since the beginning, then it doesn't matter that you let go. If you let go and dream, if you stay and you're gonna face a challenge, that is still gonna collapse your relationship. So a strong foundation relationship requires challenge, like to test you, to strengthen you, rather weaken you. And in order to build that strong foundation, you need to establish trust and authenticity first. And for that, you would need to spend time with yourself. You would need to have this relationship with yourself first. And so this nomadic actually help you to have the relationship with yourself, because it push you to face your shadow. It's push you to face the fear of loneliness, because until you can be your own best friend, until you satisfy all your needs, until you can be really honest and authentic to yourself, that you can be honest and authentic to other people. So until then, you're gonna have like a really solid relationship, right? However, like most of the time, as I see, and I have experienced that as well in my life, that we often go into relationship because we are afraid of being lonely. We are afraid to be independent. We always want to rely on other people because we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust ourselves to take care of ourselves first. And we are afraid to be alone, and that's why depression is a and is what we have to face in this pandemic. A lot of people are facing depression in this pandemic, because and this pandemic has really pushed the society to, and all of us, to face this fear, to be alone with ourselves. Until we can really overcome that, then we can have better relationship with ourselves and with other people. So that's the reason why I always say this pandemic is a blessing in disguise, because it's either help you to be stronger, or it's gonna collapse you down. And if it does, then you're gonna need to have a very honest talk with yourself, like really honest look with this dysfunctional about your life. So that's the reason why I always say that van life has helped me so much, to face all my fears. And it's just not fear of loneliness, but the fear of not being good enough, the fear of being judged, everything. And that's here to share my own journey. And that's why now I don't just have relationship with just the closer people in my life, my close circle, but that's the reason why I'm putting myself out there, so I can have relationship with the world and with my viewers, and share my experience and my insights to many people. So that's how, like, I think it's helped us to strengthen our relationship. And to say that, because I have to please someone, I have to please my family, I have to please my spouse, so I have to go and stay with them, I have to be with them and let go of my dream, is absolutely disillusional, because you're just gonna live your life for other people. And when you live your life for others, you're gonna lose yourself. And when you lose yourself, you're gonna lose your direction. When you lose your direction, you don't really have any, you don't see any purpose in your life. And that's when you feel like life is meaningless. And in that downward cycle, are you gonna be happy? Are you gonna be fulfilled in order to have a meaningful relationship with other people? So regardless you stay or you go, if the relationship is already strong in the beginning, it's still not gonna make any difference. So why do you have to please others? Why do you have to please yourself in the beginning? Yeah, because we can only are the only one that can fulfill our needs. We are the only one that can that get to build the life that we desire. We cannot rely on other people for that. So until we get to live authentically ourselves, then we're not gonna be able to have a strong relationship with other people. Another things that I want to go into discussing today is the inner child and how does that help us to build a strong relationship with ourselves and with other people as well. Because often this fear of loneliness comes from the feeling of being ignored, neglected when we were a child. And I said that in my own experience. But if you go into psychological, if you ask any therapist, psychologist, they will tell you that is true. And a lot of us are saying this is like a disease. I think this is worse than a pandemic because almost everyone are facing this at some level. But we all have that inner child wound or trauma at some level because our parents are not perfect. They're not perfect because they had to struggle during in the previous era they have to struggle to survive because we just of World War II. Like for me in Vietnam, like we didn't have independence until 1975. That's like 30 years after World War II was over. So in my family, my parents struggle most of their adulthood to survive. So to ask them have constant attention and care was impossible. So, and that's how but as a child, we always want that love and care and attention from our parents. And when we don't get that, instantly it's in we think we interpret it as that we are not being loved, we are being we're being ignored, we're being abandoned, and that hurts. And because it hurts, it's an emotion. When you're a child, this emotion can have a stronger impact on your brain, and it's record just the events, but it records the emotion, and that's why your emotions and it's your memories. It stay in memories, and that's why when you grow up as an adult, you constantly try to fulfill what's lacking when you were a child. And that's how when we get into relationship with people, subconsciously, this is what we are seeking to fulfill. We want that attention from the partner. We want that care. We want that love from the partner that was lacking when we were kids. And that's the reason why it's like a primal desire in us, in our conscious, that most of the time we are not aware of, and that's why our relationship are often dysfunctional, because we manifest relationships out of fear, right? Because we don't even know where this fear come from, because our subconscious is something happened in the past. Even when you were a child, you may not even remember the events that happened, that trauma within you, but it stay there in your body. It stay in your subconscious, in your aura, in your emotional body. And is that how you manifest into your relationship? Because we're constantly seeking for relationships that are based out of fears of loneliness, right? So it's not we, and that's the reason why there's a saying that you have to be in relationship when you are whole. But how can we be whole? Like, you cannot be whole if you still have this. So in order to have fulfilling relationships, you would have to let go of these fears first. And to let go of these, you would have to know what they are. So to know them, easy, because it hurts when you go back and facing is that's what they call the shadow work. So you have to shadows, these traumatic events, and sometimes it can be a lot more intense for some people than others, and that's why it's hard to go back to face these emotions, to let go of, to give them acknowledgement and love, and recognize that this we don't need these fears to function life anymore, and we need to establish a different foundation and learn how to give love to ourselves, right? So in the book I was explaining my journey of going through that process, how I was, how a relationship really helped me to realize my own fears, and that I had to learn to face it and forgive the people or the person that hurt me, in order to let go of all of this baggage, so that I can start learning to be in relationship with myself first. And that's why it took me on a journey to be a nomadic van lifer, because during that journey I get to spend so much time with myself. It was the first time that I didn't meet anybody for like a week or 2 weeks. I think I talked about that in my first road trip video, road Canada video, and it's got me to realize so much about the relationship with myself, and how that helps to build better relationship with other people. And for that reason, I wasn't skeptical about my life, and I no longer have to fear that, because I live nomadically, so I can't have relationship. I cannot have a fulfilling relationship, and I know that for some people, like, they have the pressure to like have to get married and have kids. Like, my families tell me that all the time, but as I develop my own way of living, I no longer let other people opinions or other people's ways of living influence me anymore. And my focus is on my self growth, so that I can use this is the foundation to build a better relationship than what it was like before, because I wasn't happy with any relationship I had. I wasn't happy with any careers that I have. But coming to this place where I feel more at peace, where I feel more free and more authentic with myself, I can slowly see that the people who in my life are more acceptable with who I am, and I can literally feel that there are more harmony in the relationship as well. It's not like you cannot always expect everything to be so perfect, but I can clearly see the progress along the way as I'm healing myself. I no longer face this challenge in relationship like when back then, like before, but now I can clearly see that, oh, there's just so much more harmony, and it's just everything is a lot easier to deal with, even though there's challenges, but it doesn't seem like there's a mountain anymore. It just seems like everything is a lot more at ease. And because as I let go of all my fears, so a lot of strength that hold me back, like all the people pleasing mentality was already gone. So I'm like, as I just live in my own way and let other people to have space to live their own way and to grow, even though we're not together, but happier as individuals, and we may have better relationship with other people, or we have better relationship together as a whole. So regardless, it's good either way. So the distance really doesn't really it distance and separation is an illusion for that reason, because it doesn't really anything. It doesn't damage anything. It's all just in your own head. It's because of your fear that hold everything back. It doesn't. Relationship itself helps you to grow. It doesn't really hold you from achieving your dream. So your dream and your relationship should go together, and if they don't, then they're not meant to be in your life. You're meant to be with have a better relationship for that reason. And if anything, it should help you to have a clear look into your relationship with people around you. So I hope that some of these insights will help you to consider about being authentic with yourself, in order for you to have a relationship with other people, and to give you the courage step out of relationship not meant to be, and start embarking on your dream, your career, or whatever that you want to build in your life. Okay, let me look at the comment. The Jack on Travel said, being a nomad exposes the clingy, needy, insecure people. I well, yes, that's the reason why I said if those relationships are not meant to be, and if they are codependent, um, if they are codependency, then yes, you need to have an authentic talk with yourself and with your partner, whether or with your family, whether you should be together. Me and my family, they didn't support me in the beginning, but I know that they're still gonna be there. Uh, they're supportive of me because they have seen that I'm growing as a person, and because they see that I consistent with this, and this is what I want to do in my life, and so they either can be in my life me or they don't have to be in my life. So it's really their choice, right? So you need to set that very clear boundary around, and when you're very clear about yourself, people, if they love you, they're gonna support you regardless, and if they don't, let them go. uh, there's no to keep clinging to what's not meant for you. So, like my mom, she didn't support me in the beginning, but now she okay with it, and my dad is supportive of me living this lifestyle, and even all my friends, um, even want to be around me, but they know this is who I am, and so whenever I have the desire to travel and to explore, they can come with me. They still very supportive of me, and for the one that really want to be in my life, they would make their effort to try to connect with me and be in. And if they don't, that's also good because there are always going to be new people that are coming into my life, and that's going to be there for me. So there's really no loss. It's only our own fears that we overthink so much and we make a big deal of everything. And to know that we are all connected, and we all, and no matter where you go, you're always gonna find people to be your friends. You're always gonna have someone's around and be there for you. Um, you're not really lonely if you all connected with nature and with the world and with everyone around you. So in a more authentic way, and I see it is since I'm more in touch with myself, I feel like I don't need to meet people any. Like in the beginning of my trip, I still use couch surfing to meet people sometimes. Um, but over time, I don't do that anymore because I just feel so comfortable in my own skin. I feel comfortable myself, and even for a whole month, sometimes I don't even meet new people, and that's okay with me. Like I'm really fine with that. And what's strange about it is people keep coming to me. So when you become yourself, your true self, um, your soul tribe is gonna show up, and you're gonna feel that you're gonna connect with them so much more, and the conversation with them is a lot deeper, even in distance. Um, so it's a lot more for a deeper connection because you just have so much in common. You just so many same interests and a lot of things in common. So it's just very easy to these people. Um, because now I'm so much more into spirituality besides traveling, and I the people who come into my life are very much like that as well. So I don't have to make an effort to go out there and meet people. Like it just my energy and my vibration somehow just bring these people to me, and I don't have to go out there and sit. I would just gonna meet somewhere. um, so I think it's very easy to meet people, and there's nothing to be afraid of. It's really there's nothing to be afraid of. It's the best thing ever when you actually get out of that fear, that things that bubble in your head about your own fear. It's everything just so much more harmonious and a lot better than ever imagined. So I do encourage you to do that and to overcome your fear of loneliness and go out there and embark on your own life the way that you want it to be, not to have please other people, not to live your life for other people, but only for yourself. And they come around, and the new people that mean to be in your life, they're gonna come to you. So yeah, if there's no other comment, questions, I will just end this live here. And before I go, I just again want to show you about my book. So everything I talk here is like an expansion on a theme in my book. Obviously, you can check it out on Amazon or on my website, livingthroughalchemy.com. So if you want to know more about my life journey, living simply, if you want to know more about my life journey, you can check out the book, and the first chapter is on my website, livingthroughalchemy.com. But yeah, today we discussed chapter 6, which is about in relationship, and there's so much more to talk about relationship, but this what sharing today I think is the basic that we all should start to embody and embrace the relationship with ourselves in order to have better relationship with other people. And yeah, hopefully that when we are able to have better relationship with ourselves, we be able to heal more as well as a whole, in as a collective, because I think that everything do start with relationship, because relationship is like an energy exchange. I'm not gonna ramble because that's gonna open up a whole different aspect about relationship. Otherwise, this life is gonna be quite long. But yeah, book is on Amazon, and I will leave all the description. And so I'm gonna leave all the links in the description box as well. And that's all I have for you today. I will see you again on next live. Hopefully this is helpful for you so far. So tune in next Sunday for another topic, and that's gonna be chapter 7 in next week. So I look forward to it. Enjoy. Thank you, Living Simply. Enjoy your week and make the most of your life, and hopefully you have a better relationship with yourself this week. Okay, bye guys.